guys, Tabitha here. Today's video is all about my experience of taking A-level exams, which is very stressful, and I know for most of you it's all coming up now and you're going to be panicking and freaking out. I'm going to tell you all about my experience, and I'm also going to give you some tips which will hopefully help with making your experience a lot more enjoyable. If you guys want to hear more about my overall sixth form experience, the social side of things, friendships, blah blah blah, I have got a video all about that on my channel Tabitha Elizabeth, which you can go and check out, but this is mainly focused on actual exams, so hopefully I can help you. So for my A-level subjects, I took biology, psychology and dance. Biology and psychology were super interesting and I stuck them out for the whole 2 years, and dance as well, which was technically a BTEC, so it was all coursework based. I had performances and written work, and then for biology and psychology they were all exam based. There was no coursework involved if I remember correctly. Obviously I'm doing psychology as a degree, so the subjects I chose had to kind of be relevant, but I did only really need to do psychology A-level. I could do whatever else I wanted. I made sure that I picked subjects that I enjoyed and that I knew I was going to have fun studying for the next 2 years. If you're going to study subjects for 2 years long that you absolutely hate, you're going to have a miserable time. You're not going to want to revise. You're not going to want to put the work in if you feel like, I hate this subject, I'm not going to take it any further, why am I doing it? Your grades may suffer if you don't enjoy the courses that you are studying. On my phone here I've got my top tips on how to survive your A-level exams. I really wanted to have 10, but I only managed to come up with 9. I didn't want to put stuff in there that was irrelevant. Tip number 1 is to utilise your free periods, which may be called free periods, but technically they are study periods. I didn't do this for the first few months of AS and I really regretted it. It's such a large amount of time during the day that you could get so much work done. So if you make the most of your free periods during the day at sixth form, you can then have more of a relaxing time when you get home. Still revise, but you can do less because you've done it during the day. Tip number 2 is all about having a dedicated space for your revision, because if you revise like in bed or in the living room, you're going to associate these places with work, and when it is your time to relax, you're not going to be able to, because you'll be thinking, I'm sat in the living room, I need to be revising, or at least that's what I was like anyway. Go to the library, go to a cafe, wherever you find useful. I mean, if you have a desk in your room or wherever, that's great. Number 3 is make sure you revise with other people, test each other, because you never know what comes to your head someone else may never have thought of, what comes to their head you may never have thought of. That way it makes you have more rounded knowledge or variety of ideas for the specific topic you're studying. It just means you're sort of helping each other out and bringing all your ideas together to give you the biggest possibility of doing well in your exams. Don't copy each other, test each other. Make sure you all have a good understanding of what you need to know. Tip number 4, I would highly recommend using a website called QUIZLET. I still use it now. It's basically a website where you can create flashcards online. So it means you can access them on any device you have as long as you have the internet without having to carry around a massive stack of flashcards with you. You can create as many sets as you want, put them into folders, which I find really helpful. I have a folder for each module, and then within that module folder I have all the different subcategories, and it just makes things easier. I used it at GCSE, A-level and at my degree level, so it's an all-round good one, that. What would I do without it? Number 5 is quite a big one, and I felt so guilty of this. Do not rely on predictions. Oh my goodness. I'm sure if you study psychology you will all know of this guy that predicts what's going to come up in your A-level exams. My entire class all just studied what he predicted would come up and didn't study what he said, oh, that's come up the past 2 years, it's not going to come up again. And I remember seeing through the paper the phrase gender schema theory in my psychology exam, which I had not revised, and I instantly just wanted to die. I think it was around a 24-mark essay and I wrote 5 lines. Predictions might be helpful, maybe focus on the topics that they predict will come up, but don't just study them. You need to know everything in detail, because you don't want to do what I did and write 5 lines for a 24-mark essay. I'm still at uni though. I could have got a much higher grade if I Number 6 is all about when you're stood outside the exam room waiting to walk in. While you're literally just stood there waiting to walk in, don't talk to anyone, because they'll all be discussing what they've studied, what they know, what they think is going to come up, and if they say something that you are not confident on yourself, it's just going to stress you out, make you panic, make you nervous, and put you in completely the wrong mindset for sitting your exams. Tip number 7 is make sure you still take time out of your day to spend on yourself and meet with other people and just relax, because if you're you're working constantly, you are going to be so stressed out, burnt out, exhausted, and if you're exhausted, you're not going to do well in exams. Even if you've just revised, if you're too tired, you're not going to be in the mindset to work. Tip number 8 is make sure you have plenty of water and snacks while you're revising to keep you motivated and energised. I was very lucky in the sense that while I was revising, my dad would bring me up snacks and drinks. I liked having fruit and water and chocolate and just anything sweet. If I can say to myself, when I finish this paragraph, I can have a lolly, that would make me want to learn. My last tip, tip number 9, is use lots of colour when revising. I use bright colours, highlighters, fine liners, anything I can to make my revision materials look more interesting. If I'm staring at a black and white page, no diagrams, no highlighting, I'm just going to stare at it and literally my eyes will glaze over and I will take in none of the information. I'm not going to lie, I'm glad I finished my A-levels. So those are all my top tips for the exam period for your A-levels. I hope you found this helpful. Good luck with your exams. We're going to have such a long summer afterwards, so just work hard for now and then you'll have so much time to chill. Thank you for watching and I will be back very soon. Bye everyone!